The thing with crystals, they kind of tell you what they do. You don't even have to like know all about them. Do you feel angered by looking at that?
No.
You know, some people get so riled up, well, this and this and that. And it's like, it's the energy of the earth. But if we can hack our own subconscious mind and kind of get back into alignment, the stones kind of help us do that.
All right, guys, we got Heather Askinosie here today. We're going to talk crystals.
My favorite subject. Thank you.
I'm very excited. You brought a ton.
I did. I want to give you a stone reading.
So how does that work?
So I feel a really easy way to understand the energy of the earth that is when you pick stones. The stones kind of have, each one has their own frequency and energy. And sometimes when we know what stones that we gravitate towards, those are the stones that are good for us to work with or wear or have in our environment.
Got it.
And once again, the crystals are a tool that you can work with or wear to help you become more balanced, aligned, and just centered and grounded.
Got it. So when you wear them, you're feeling the energy from the stone?
You know, some people wear jewelry and they're like, hey, this just looks good on me. And some people will wear it with intention. And if you start wearing crystals more often, you will feel them.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And do you have them all throughout your house in certain rooms too?
I do. I have them everywhere. I mean, I got into crystals about 28 years ago when nobody was into them. And I wasn't planning on being attracted to crystals. I mean, I didn't grow up in Manhattan Beach, California, and, you know, to be a crystal healer.
Yeah.
But when I first got into them, there was something about them, and I took a deep dive and I started traveling with medicinal healers, and I went on a total journey. And for me, they're the tool that's a constant. Some people drink green juice or drink high-grade water. Crystals are something that I will integrate into my life because I feel that they're a fast track of lightning speed energy that helps us to manifest at a faster rate.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge, especially in business.
100%. It gives you the leading edge. Yeah. I mean, I've been in business for 24 years, and I feel one of the, we have a lot of athletes and professional business people, but, and everybody across the gamut, but I feel because people get results and it helps them to get more centered into what they want to manifest and create.
Right.
And I feel that it hacks time and energy because you're working at light speed.
Yeah. Talk to me about some of these results because you can't deny results.
I love that. No, I mean, at the end of the day, we all want results, right? If you're going to do something, it's not about working harder, it's working smarter. And I feel I'm big into manifestation, and I feel that the crystals, it has an energy technology to it. And when you come with intention and you wear something consistently, when you're wearing it, you remember what you want to create, but there is an energy to it. And there's been people that have won the lottery wearing the jewelry. Yeah. We had a guy that was, he saved his money for 1 year. He was struggling and he ended up, and I'm not saying this happens all the time because it has not happened to me yet. And I wish I could say I won the lottery. But anyway, he ended up wearing the lottery this is our prosperity necklace. It's what started our company.
Yeah.
But he ended up winning the lottery. There's been people that wear money magnet. And at the end of the day, we all have to have something that we can hold on to, especially in today's time, something that gives us hope, something that helps us to connect to what we want to be and what we want to create. And when you wear something on your body, it helps you to remember that. People have more success in business. People have attracted love in relationships. I mean, it's endless. It's about wearing the energy of the earth to help you get grounded, centered, and aligned.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So the prosperity necklace, that just attracts more prosperity. That's the idea behind it.
Yeah. I mean, how I got into this is that I was selling high-end real estate in Manhattan Beach.
Yeah.
And I had a man from CFO from a Fortune 500 company. And he said, hey, look, I'm going to buy a lot of real estate from you, but you better know Feng Shui. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what are you talking about? And this was 28 years ago. And he said, well, if you want me to buy real estate, you better learn Feng Shui. So I went into a room. I was with a lot of men, mostly Chinese men.
Yeah.
And it was all about mathematics and degrees. And so what I learned is that there's energy patterns and prints that go into mathematical calculations. And so what happened was I sold him a lot of real estate and I learned about Feng Shui and energy. But when I got pregnant with my first child, I couldn't do readings anymore. So I came up with this based on Feng Shui principles that, jade with red string activated brings money. So I gave it to 10 people. And I said, because I'm a researcher, try this and tell me what happens in 10 days.
Yep.
And all 10 people came back and said, hey, there's something about that. Not that everyone won the lottery, but some people are like, look, I had a contact that came into my life that I hadn't thought about. Or things started stimulating of how do I want to be more prosperous? How can I get rid of lack?
Mm-hmm.
And word of mouth started on the streets of Manhattan Beach, and people were like, I'll take 20, I'll take 30, I'll take 40. And that's how I started.
Wow.
Started. Yeah.
That's cool.
Completely word of mouth because people were getting results. And 24 years later, this is still my number one seller.
Insane. Now you're one of the biggest crystal shops in the world, right?
Well, you know what? There's a lot of cool crystal shops. I feel like we're one of the top crystal shops because we have been here for 24 years and people get results, and there's something to the power of the earth. And we are here to help people tap into their power and remember that they're a creator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think certain crystals can help with physical ailments?
You know what? I think I feel that that's not going to be above a medical doctor. But what I do feel is that a lot of people will wear stones for I want to have better health.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes by having that intention, they're attracted to a better diet or somebody that comes into their life that gives them a better health regime. But a lot of people I know I had severe anxiety. It just hit me like a brick. Like I was living my life and then all of a sudden I had anxiety. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? And so what happened was I started wearing more stones to get more grounded so I could breathe deeper because I forgot all those things. So there's a lot of different ways that the energy of the earth can help you be on a path to open things up into your life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Does the quality of the crystal matter? Like, are there levels to the grading?
I think so. I mean, if you look at here, there's different crystals. They all have different personalities. Some are small, some are clear. It's like a diamond. You know what I mean? They all have. What I love about crystals is that they're all unique. They all have their own energy imprint. They come from different parts of the world. Everybody loves crystals. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter how much money you make or what you did or what college you went to or what belief you believe. There's an energy frequency about it. And it penetrates you in a positive way. And don't we all need a little bit more positivity right now? And the thing that's cool about stones is that not everyone might be into them, but at least it's a choice that you have to make. And why not wear it? And most people, what I found, especially with men, I'm not saying this is all, but sometimes men are a little bit more cautious and skeptical.
Yeah.
And they've been brought to the crystals by maybe a female friend or whatnot. And then the men get results and then they kind of push the female away and go, hey, I'm going to do this more often. And our company really was started by a lot of men that had a lot of success with it that told other men in athletics and in the professional world.
That's cool.
And it kind of opened it up.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because females are more tapped in with their spiritual side, I'd say.
Well, more and more men are becoming more open and awakened with that. I think that, maybe it was more accepted now, but it's definitely opening up. Every ancient civilization since the beginning of time have used crystals.
Wow.
So nothing really lasts through time if it doesn't have something to it. Like the Egyptians made it with, they had makeup. And if you look at the tombs, they were buried with malachite and coral. And, look at LCD displays, liquid crystal display. Some of the top lasers in the world right now are made with crystal technology.
Interesting.
So there's a lot of science behind it and, Tesla, and there's a lot of energy there, but I'm just talking about the spiritual part of it right now.
Do they last forever or do you have to keep buying them? Crystals?
You know what? I keep buying them because once you become a crystal, if you're into crystals, it's almost like this kind of obsession. You want to have more and more and more because they're beautiful and they come from different parts of the world. But no, you don't have to keep buying them. You could have one and have it for whatever. But once I've yet to meet someone who's into crystals that only has 1, 10, or 20. Okay. Because they feel good on your body. They're almost like a talisman. They're like an armor. You put them on in the morning and you're kind of getting geared up. So, and I brought some crystals today for you kind of to pick. Yeah. And usually what happens is somebody's like, well, what crystal is good for me? Usually you just gravitate to what is good. It's not an intellectual process. It's a heart process, Like what you are gravitated towards kind of says maybe a little bit about what you might want, need, or align to.
Yeah. So I just pick anyone here?
Yeah, pick a few.
I think this one's really cool. I've never seen it before.
Okay. So I love that one for you because that one has green tourmaline. And green tourmaline is known to be a very powerful stone for men in particular. So professional athletes that are in training, they have found that when wearing green tourmaline, they had better results when they were wearing it. So whenever professional athletes come in, I always put them in green tourmaline because it is a very powerful stone, especially for men.
That's
so
cool.
That would be a great stone if you
green
are,
tourmaline.
yeah, green tourmaline. So that's a really good one.
What else we got here?
Yeah.
What's this? This clear quartz.
So that's apophyllite. And that is all about positivity and seeing the positivity in life and remembering that our mind creates our reality in many ways. And sometimes we can get into a trap. And usually when you pick that, it's all about being more positive, keep your mind in that state of mind. It's a gentle reminder. And I love that one's like sparkly and pretty. And the thing with crystals, they kind of tell you what they do. You don't even have to like know all about them.
Yeah.
Because they kind of tell you. And once again, there's nothing bad that's going to happen with you by looking at that. It's like, look at it. It's all like happy and love.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, be positive. I mean, do you feel angered by looking at that?
No.
Some people get so riled up. Well, this and this and that. And it's like, it's the energy of the earth.
I love that.
It's the one common denominator we all have. We all live on the earth, right? That's something we all got.
That's super interesting because I've been having some negative thoughts lately. So the fact that I picked that one is pretty interesting to me.
And that's what's so, for me, crystal stone readings are so powerful because it doesn't matter what our stories are or what we're going through, because we're all going through something. But if we can hack our own subconscious mind and kind of get back into alignment, the stones kind of help us do that. At least that's for me the tool. So I've never met you before. And I bet like even if you pick two more, it's not that I'm reading you, we're reading the energy of the stones and you're gravitating to what is good for you right now to help you be in your optimum best Sean that you possibly can be.
So it's almost like they call the person.
100%.
Wow.
100%.
That's cool.
And it's not that they're taking power. They're not the power. The person's the power. They're the tool to help you become more centered, clear, aligned, and in your personal power so you can create really what you want to create.
Right.
Yeah.
So what exactly is a crystal code?
So I have found recently that numbers are very powerful. And number sequences, when we use number sequences, we can tap into that universal language. So I feel that working with numbers and crystals help you to clear energy faster. They help you to clear away blocks. It helps you to get into alignment. So it's using number frequencies, number sequences while holding a crystal. So I wanted you to see this one. This one's called a manifester.
Yeah.
And so if you can see how there's a crystal within the crystal. So manifestors, this is like finding a needle in a haystack. You have to go through thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of them.
Wow. That's crazy.
Take it out for a spin. So anyway, so what happens with manifestors is in the crystal world, it's believed that if you hold a manifester and you really get clear on what you want to manifest, it helps you become a magnet for that. And so you hold it and it helps you to get really clear, open up your subconscious mind, and helps you to be a magnet to what you want to attract.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So how exactly do you code the crystals with numbers?
So for example, if I wanted to clear away blocks, I would hold a crystal that I was attracted to. So maybe for you, you would hold that. And I would do a number sequences. There's a whole bunch of number sequences we have on our website. But to clear a number sequence, it would be 19168833. And what happens is when you code in your brain with numbers versus words, it helps do something to your brain so you become more crystalline focused and you're able to clear energy. So it's one of these things you have to try by holding it and just saying the number sequence over and over in your head for about 3 minutes, and you'll see that your brain gets really clear.
Interesting.
Yeah, it works different than words. So say a word for 3 minutes and then say a number code for 3 minutes and see what your brain is on the numbers. It's very, very interesting. I almost feel like it's the next level of manifesting.
Yeah. So is that a form of numerology almost?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're a believer in numerology?
I'm a believer in number sequences. Absolutely. I mean, I just think that all these things give us a leading edge, and why wouldn't we use it to our advantage?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So why not? I think it's a powerful way to do manifestation.
For
Absolutely.
sure. What do you think about astrology?
I think all of these things are layers.
Yeah.
I feel information is powerful, and why not? If for me, when I ask somebody their birthday, I feel like I kind of know them. I pack the time of maybe taking hours to get to know somebody. You kind of already know how.
Just from their birthday?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just from a numbers of a birthday.
So what would you?
What's your birthday?
Valentine's Day.
Oh, you're an Aquarius.
Yeah.
Okay. So people of your birth date are probably very, I think you're probably a very curious person. You're really smart in financials. You're going to always be very lucky in business and finances. Your brain just kind of thinks like that. I do feel like people born on that on your birthday are very, do you feel like you tap into your intuition?
Intuition. I try to.
Okay. Because sometimes that would be another area of interest for you. So I think that would be something you're probably really good at. But if you gave it some more time, you'd be really, really good of tapping into that energy field.
Got it.
So it just gives you kind of a little bit of a, a commonality of just kind of knowing. So
Yeah.
I don't think that's the whole end game. You have to get to know something, but I do think
No, that was pretty accurate, to be honest.
I
So,
mean,
well done.
you know what I'm saying? But also you look at your face. I mean, you have just such a sweet, kind face that's likable. I mean, I bet people adore you when they first meet you. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I hope so.
But look at how nice you are, you know, and you're sweet.
Well, I'm big on energy. I've worked hard this year and last year being able to pick up on people's energy.
Oh, so what have you learned about energy?
Just like being more in touch with spirit and spirituality in general has helped me like read people faster, I'd say.
Okay.
I used to not be able to read anyone.
Okay.
I was very closed off.
But in business, it seems I would think that would serve you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I've had a lot of failed business partners because of that, but now, that doesn't happen to me as often.
Okay. So why do you feel you were attracting those kind of people?
I just believed everything at the time. They would tell me one thing and I would just take it for their word.
Okay.
So I was very gullible, I'd say, back then. But now I'm more logical and I need to see stuff.
Okay. But, that's life, right? You're here at Earth School, we're learning things all the time. So now you know. But that's a very, I think intuition in business is kind of underestimated. Everyone thinks of it as being woo-woo. But I don't think it is. I feel like it is a leading edge type thing. And when you are really in tune with your gut and you have that, something doesn't feel right, I've found that when I second guess myself, that's when it's bad.
Right.
Okay. And these are simple things. This isn't like it's just being so in tune with what is right for you and knowing what road to go down. It just saves time.
Yeah.
And it's a smart thing to do to really tap into that.
For sure.
And I'm glad that more people your age are doing that because it is really a gift.
Yeah.
And it's something more people should kind of consider playing around with.
I also look at how they treat other people because I know a lot of people are going to act differently around me. So I look at how they talk to my assistant, talk to my producer, talk to my fiance, and then I kind of get a good feel for them after that.
Yeah, I mean, and I like that you're saying feel because sometimes we lead with our head the whole time.
Yeah.
And once again, that doesn't always serve us either, So keep it real commonsensical and grounded.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how we treat other people is how we treat ourselves.
Yeah.
I
mean, I went on this show the other day and the guy was just treating his employees horribly. And then he treated me completely different. And I don't really like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, well, maybe you'll up level everybody.
I hope so.
Because maybe that's one of your gifts of what you're here to do.
I do my best to talk to everyone the same. Sometimes it's hard, but I think I do pretty good.
I think you do too. I do.
So what are some Feng Shui techniques you use in your home?
So one of the things, a lot of people come and they are like single and they are looking, say for a woman who's single, I notice when I go into their houses that a lot of single people, doesn't have to only be men or women, but usually there's a lot of landscape pictures in their house or there's a lot of pictures of single people in their house. And so it's very interesting to look at your environment because our environment will mirror back to us what's going on within our subconscious mind. So what happens is that when you want a partnership, really look at your artwork in your room because people that want partnerships need to have two people in pictures around their house. It's also, I think that there's a lot of things with clutter
Mhm.
and a lot of simple techniques that people can do from a feng shui way to create more abundance into their space.
Yeah.
But, water brings money, and strategically placed water is very, very powerful. Look at Las Vegas. I always think of the Mirage Hotel as kind of an interesting. The Mirage way back then was bad for people, bad for money, because it was considered in feng shui a reversed property.
Wow.
But once they got the volcano in the front and then the dolphin pool in the back, it changed the complete energy of that whole hotel. And it
Interesting.
became very abundant overnight. So I love to come to Vegas and see where all the water is and how everything's strategically placed because it's, water brings money.
Yeah.
And when put in the right place, it's very abundant. And that's why you see a lot of very successful developments having strategically placed water in places.
Wow.
And so I always know when I go into a building and it's been feng shuied, everything is very, very well done, but it's all about balance and harmony. And once again, why wouldn't you use it for your competitive edge
Absolutely.
or leading edge?
Yeah.
It's all just information, and it's all about being balanced and aligned. And it just helps you be at your optimum best. Because I know for me, when I'm grounded, centered, and aligned, my brain works better. I have better intuition, and I just show up better. And in today's world with so many distractions and just so much being put at us, how do we bombard all this stuff? How do we get to that place? And I think that that's kind of the superpower of the future, really,
Right.
is being able to be aligned, balanced, and centered.
Yeah.
And it sounds simple, but it's getting harder and harder to do. And we really need tools to help us get there on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's important. I want to have a waterfall at my house, like a little, because moving water is high energy, right?
Moving water is, but strategically placed moving water is the key to it.
Okay.
And that's why in feng shui, with classical feng shui, it's all based on mathematics and numbers and putting things in the right place because you don't want it to take away. You want it to enhance.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
where would the place be? In the backyard, front yard?
So everything is based on the degree of your land. So
Okay.
there's a different 144 different types. So based on the degrees of your property, goes into a mathematical calculation to then tell where the wealth is in your property. But I'll give you a tip. Right now, there's a lot of wealth this year in the north.
In the north.
So I feel like this year in particular, water in the north, and once again, you have to be careful, but water, especially in the north, exterior north, is a nice place for water this year.
Interesting.
For wealth.
And does that change every year, the
Yeah.
direction?
So feng shui changes every 20 years, it changes every year, and then it changes monthly cycles.
Wow.
So there's people that are tracking this in business, okay? Big business, that are tracking these elements all the time for financial abundance. Absolutely.
This is something I have to look into more because some months I crush it. And then I'm
Yes.
doing the same thing the next month. Sales are way lower.
So the thing is every energy is always moving, right? And so that's why sometimes with all this stuff, you got to be moving with energy. We can't think that something's placed in a certain place and then it's all still. You got to break it up. We absorb energy. Things come in. People dump their energy. You have to keep moving, breaking it up, and clearing it. But yes, not everything is rainbows and unicorns, right? Not every month is, life isn't like that. Some months are not as abundant as others. And what do we learn in those months?
Right.
What do we learn? How to be better? How do we evolve? How do we grow? Because that's really what we're here to do, right?
Yeah.
And so, but there's tracking to that. Absolutely.
Do you think it's necessary to have those bad months?
You know what? Would I like to not have bad months? Yeah, but I find that the bad months, when life is like when you're past the bad months and you're like, I wouldn't change a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I like it when I'm at the end of the storyline and I'm looking back. I wouldn't change a thing. I learned the most things there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when I'm in it, it's a nightmare. But I also have to come at it is, what am I supposed to be learning right now? How am I supposed to grow from this? It's not happening to me, it's happening for me. And when I get into that mindset, I'm not saying it doesn't make it hard. It just helps me know that this is an ebb and a flow. It's not going to last forever. But when I do get on the other side, I'm going to be better than I was before.
Right.
Okay. And that's all any of us could hope for. I want to be better than I was before. I want to stay curious. I want to learn new things. I want to keep meeting interesting people. I don't want to play it safe. There's so many cool things to do.
Yeah.
And so if you're a risk taker or you are interested, you're going to have some bad months, you know,
Yes.
but you will come out, and it's all in how you look at that bad month is really, in my opinion, kind of the game changer, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know?
I think feng shui is important. I think a lot of houses, you walk into them, you feel something off.
100%. I mean, I grew up, my mom was in real estate, so I hung up in houses. So when I go into a house, I could feel everything in a house. I hear houses, I hear rocks, I hear, you know what I mean? Like, so, but I'm open to that. But the thing about feng shui that I think is important for everyone to know is that you can always change something in your environment. So never is there oh my God, it's the worst is here. There's always something you can do to shift energy because it's just moving.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be afraid about it.
What are some common issues you saw in the houses you were visiting for energy flow?
I think that sometimes we as humans sabotage ourselves, where we have a lot of great flow in a house, but we clutter it up. We put too much stuff in. Things break. We don't take care of them. And simple things like keeping the lid down on a toilet can change your money. Okay?
Really?
Okay, so here's a tip that I want everyone to remember. And these are, once again, simple things that you don't have to go out and pay anything, but you could do today. Keep your toilet seat down and close your bathroom door, okay? If you want to not have third party, like I go into people's bedrooms and they have all these mirrors in their bedroom, okay?
Yeah.
And some people are like, I have insomnia, I can't sleep. Well, then if you look at it, the energy is going into the mirrors and it's beaming back and forth and it's creating this cycle of energy. So you want to cover the mirrors up if you want to have better sleep.
Wow.
Okay. Also, it's sometimes said that if too many mirrors in the bedroom can bring third parties into the relationship. So take a look at that. So, but I definitely think sleep is key. And I found that if you know your best magnetic sleeping direction and you know your best direction on what makes you most productive, this is all information that's just going to give you the leading edge.
Right.
And so a lot of people are like, can't sleep, but they're sleeping in a direction that's keeping them up at night. By just changing their sleeping direction, they'll have better sleep.
Wow.
And by covering their mirrors in their room, they'll have better sleep. So these are easy things that you can do.
How do you find your sleeping direction?
It's based on your birth date, and you get 4 different directions. One's great for sleep, and the other 3 are good for financial abundance.
Interesting.
So when I was invited to go to TikTok corporate offices, not a couple months ago, I walked into this room, and there was like 30 people there, and then they were on the screens from China, and I'm like, oh my God, I really got to figure out where the good feng shui in this room was. And there was only like one strip. So I had to bring out my compass and align myself at least where my best direction was. And I'm glad I knew that because it just helped me keep my mind in a really clear state of mind during that meeting. And so I just feel like these are things that you can do that just give you that edge where you're in your own personal power. And I want to be in my magnetically best mental state.
Right.
I want to be mentally strong.
I am going to have to re-download the Compass app.
100%.
I deleted it.
Okay, you have, because when you know your best directions and you go to a business meeting and you could be facing your best direction, why wouldn't you?
Wow.
That's not going to hurt you if you can position yourself for that.
Yeah.
So most times I do that. I didn't do it today. I didn't want to My
bad. I kind of forced you in this
Okay,
seat.
but anyway, but do you know what I'm saying? So if you have that data, why wouldn't you use it?
Yeah.
And you just pull out your compass and if you're at a conference table and you can decide where you want to go, be in your best magnetic direction.
So when you go out to dinner, is there certain seats you pick?
Well, you know what? This morning, they sat me down right before the kitchen. And I'm like, I don't want to be near the kitchen where all the energy is. I'm like, hey, can you move me? So yeah, I'll do that all the time because why not?
Okay. So there's too much energy in the kitchen?
I don't want to be eating looking at the kitchen. Does that make sense? I don't want to, you know what I mean? I came here, I want to have a good meal. I want to be somewhere else where I'm not seeing the kitchen.
I feel that.
You know what I mean?
There's a lot of open kitchen restaurants these days. Have you noticed that? It's crazy.
I have.
Almost everywhere I go now.
Yes. Yeah. So, and that's great. It's good. I just don't want to sit there for that part of it.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I
feel
mean?
that.
So yeah, I mean, but it definitely, even having like when you're in a business meeting, having your back, like having a solid wall behind you. A lot of times businessmen will go into their space and they have a window behind them, not a solid wall. And we adjust their desk where there's a wall behind them, and all of a sudden things change in their business.
Wow, just
because they have support, like a mountain behind them versus glass behind them. So there's little teeny techniques that can shift things financially very quickly.
Yeah, I think your subconscious is so powerful, right?
100%. It's everything. I'm all about, I want to reprogram my subconscious.
Right.
I'm always working on that.
Love that.
Yeah. Conscious, subconscious, super conscious. But we can, I want to rewire my subconscious. And we are able to do that. And I would love people at your age, you guys, like, start doing all this stuff now. It's a superpower. You know, you can, it's easy. Why live the old paradigm and the old programs and the old belief systems? Are they yours, or are they what you were brought up with? Do you want to live your life, or do you want to live the life of what you were told to live?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So
what about pets?
I'm an animal lover. So sometimes I wish I could hang out with animals more than humans, because animals are just pure. And animals get it, you know? They come to you, they know who the good vibes are.
Oh, they know.
I think so.
They're great for testing people you bring into the house to see if they're good people.
Yeah.
If they
absolutely.
don't approach them, that's a red flag for me.
Yeah, I mean, animals know, and animals are great, and I could see it in their eyes, and you could just see so much about them. They're beautiful. So, yeah.
Dogs or cats?
Cats, I love dogs. I love cats too. Cats are a little bit more independent. They are going to check you out a lot more than a dog. It has more of that purity. Hey, you know, a cat's going to linger back and kind of observe you a little bit more. But yeah, they're all great. They get it.
Absolutely.
Animals get it.
Heather, it's been fun. Anything else you want to, where can people buy your crystals?
We're at energymuse.com. And I'd like to do a DSH 25 for any of your people that want to get some wealth products or anything.
Wow. Thank you.
As a code for you guys. And wear some crystals, wear them on your body. It's not going to hurt. And just see what happens. And it really is, it just feels good to have the energy of the earth. It makes us more aware of the planet that we live on.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for coming on and educating people about crystals.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching, guys, as always. See you tomorrow.